Hello friends, welcome to our channel. I am Ashish and in this video we will discussing about the piriform fossa. So it is very important topic clinically and usually asked by the examiner in your viva. So although this diagram appear complex, let me assure you this topic is very simple and easy to understand. So I will teach you with the help of the diagram on my hand, so it will be very simple for you to understand. So before proceeding further, let's have an overview of what actually piriform fossa is. I hope you know about the laryngeal inlet, means the opening of the larynx, all the structure related to it. I hope it is very clear to you. So you know the laryngeal inlet. Then along the sides, suppose this is the epiglottis over here and this is the laryngeal inlet below. So this is the opening of the larynx, and just posterior to it we have the esophagus over here. So this is the laryngeal opening. So epiglottis will close like this and close the tube of the larynx. So along the sides of the larynx, in its wall, that is on its lateral wall, there is present a fossa. Okay, there is present a fossa on the lateral walls of laryngeal inlet, which is called the piriform fossa. So it's very clear, the piriform fossa is a groove or a recess or a fossa on the sides of the laryngeal inlet guarded by the epiglottis. So this is a diagram that I have drawn over here. So you can see that this pink color structure that you see on both the sides are the piriform fossa. See this. It means we have a paired piriform fossa, means two piriform fossa on the sides of the or on the lateral wall of the larynx. So these are the first piriform fossa and this is the second piriform fossa. In the center that you see is the epiglottis. So suppose this is the laryngeal tube. So suppose this is the laryngeal tube over here and this is the laryngeal opening. Okay, and it is guarded by the epiglottis. So epiglottis close the laryngeal opening like this. So this is the epiglottis and it closes the laryngeal opening. So and it's present, it is a tube and it is present on the sides of the on the lateral sides of the laryngeal inlet, the piriform fossa. So this structure that you see over here is the epiglottis. So these two middle fingers denote the which structure, that is the epiglottis. On the sides we have the piriform fossa. Here you can see an orange structure in the diagram also, which is the hyoid bone. Then we have the thyroid cartilage and the cricoid cartilage, that is thyroid cartilage over here and the cricoid cartilage. So the membrane from the hyoid bone to the thyroid cartilage will be named the thyroid membrane. Okay, between the thyroid cartilage and the hyoid bone we have the thyroid membrane. Then we have the cricothyroid membrane below. So that's not of concern to study. We have to study about the piriform fossa. So if you look more carefully, then you can see the yellow color structure over here. So here is a yellow colored structure on the base of the fossa. So you can see on the both sides, on the base there is a yellow color structure which is nothing but the internal laryngeal nerve over here. So this is the piriform fossa that we have to study. So this is the piriform fossa and its lower part we have a nerve, that is the internal laryngeal nerve. This nerve is internal laryngeal nerve. Okay, we have the two internal laryngeal nerve on the lower part of the two piriform fossa. So it's very clear to you now. We have the laryngeal nerve over here. So we have the epiglottis in the center. Okay, and the sides of the epiglottis there is a fold that is called the aryepiglottic fold. How the aryepiglottic fold extend, I have told you in the video of the epiglottis and the epiglottic fold. You can go in that video and the playlist section or in the video section of our channel and have a view of it, so that you can easily identify the different epiglottis structures and the epiglottic folds. So these are the epiglottis, and on the sides of this we have the which fossa? Piriform fossa. Piriform fossa you can see bounded medially by the which structure? That is the aryepiglottic fold. So on the sides of the epiglottis we have a fold of the mucosa which is called the aryepiglottic fold. Then on the lateral sides of the piriform fossa we have which membrane? We have the thyroid membrane, and these are called the saccule and the sinus. This structure is called the saccule of the larynx, and this I will teaching on the video of the larynx and the laryngeal cartilages. So please do subscribe our channel, and let me tell you, I will be uploading only exclusive videos for subscribers soon. So stay tuned and stay subscribed. And if you like the video, please hit the like button. So I will be discussing the piriform fossa boundaries in the theory part, but for you to understand, you can say medially it is bounded by the which fold? Array epiglottic fold on both the sides. So in the medial structure we have the array epiglottic fold on both sides, and the lateral structure we have the what structure? We have the thyroid membrane and the thyroid cartilage. See, thyroid cartilage exists little above also. So the two structure usually form the lateral boundaries, that is the thyroid membrane and the thyroid cartilage, and it is bounded lower structure is bounded by the internal laryngeal nerve. See, this nerve is very important. Why? Because when discussing the clinical, this nerve damage can lead to the loss of the sensation over the supraglottic part of the larynx, which is important for the protective cuff reflex. So this nerve damage leads to the absence of the cuff reflex. So now let's come to the theory part. I hope you have a good overview of the piriform fossa topic. So these all things you must try it in your theory part that we discussed, that is, it is a deep recess or a fossa situated on the east side of the laryngeal inlet, that is on the anterior part of the lateral wall of the laryngopharynx. This whole structure around the larynx is called the laryngopharynx, and it is situated on the anterior side of the laryngopharynx. It is a tube, so it is situated on the anterior side and on the lateral wall. Okay, it's very clear. On the anterior side, on the lateral wall of the laryngopharynx, that is on east side of the laryngeal inlet. So it is broad above. You can see it is broad above and narrow below. Now let's talk about the boundaries. What are the medial boundaries? See, in the medial side what we have? We have the array epiglottic fold and the quadrangular membrane. See, you might not know about the quadrangular membrane, so let me tell you. See, you know about the cartilage of the larynx. So anterior side we have the thyroid, and thyroid extend posterior, and posterior we have the which structures other cartilages like the arytenoid and the corniculate. So membrane exists between from here to here like this. So on each side there is a membrane present. On each side of the epiglottis there is a membrane present like this on each side. So like this membrane is present around the laryngeal opening on the sides, which is called the quadrangular membrane. So quadrangular membrane is forming the medial boundary, and its medial boundary is also formed by the array epiglottic fold. So it is formed by array epiglottic fold, which we have discussed on the video of the epiglottis and epiglottic fold. And we have one more structure, we have quadrangular membrane. Okay, now on the lateral side, what we have on the lateral side? We have the which membrane? Thyroid membrane and the thyroid cartilage. We have the thyroid membrane and thyroid cartilage. As well as we have some mucous membrane lining this. So there may be some mucous membrane. It is a tube, so some mucous membrane will be lining the membrane of the thyroid, that is the thyroid membrane. So it also forms a lateral wall. So we have some mucus covering as well. Mucus covering. Actually what happens, the internal laryngeal nerve and the laryngeal vessels pierces this membrane and forms the lower part of the piriform fossa. You can see the nerve pierces the thyroid membrane and forms the lower portion of the piriform fossa. And see what all the structure form the above boundary. So it is separated from the epiglottis above. So it is separated from the epiglottis above by the epiglottic vallecula. If you don't know what is this, so let me tell you. This is tongue on the anterior side. This is tongue, and this is epiglottis from the superior view. Okay, this is epiglottis. So in the epiglottic fold, I told you this is the median glossoepiglottic fold formed by the mucous membrane lining the tongue. Suppose the mucous membrane lining the tongue forms a band to the epiglottis called the median glossoepiglottic fold. It runs laterally and then again joins the tongue on the sides. So this is called lateral glossoepiglottic fold, and in the center we have median glossoepiglottic fold. And then this structure, this space in the center is called the vallecula. Okay, so it is separated above from the vallecula. It is present like this on the sides. where the piriform fossa is present on the sides and is separated from the vallecula or this space by the lateral glossoepiglottic fold. So on the above part it is separated from which structure? The epiglottic vallecula or the space from vallecula by a structure that is called the lateral glossoepiglottic fold. Lateral glossoepiglottic fold. So this fold or this fossa is artificially deepened by the lead balls to hide some precious elements like a diamond and some other precious elements. So it is usually deepened by lead balls by smugglers to smuggle some important or some precious jewels, that is the like diamond, and it is done by the lead balls. So it is also referred to as smuggler's fossa. Smuggler's fossa. Why? Because it is artificially deepened and used to hide some precious jewels. Now let's come to the clinical portion. So what all clinical structure or clinical conditions related to the piriform fossa? There are a number of clinical conditions related to the piriform fossa, but the most commonly coming clinical cases are related to the perforation by endoscope. Endoscope is an instrument used to view the inside of the pharynx and the esophagus, but as this recess, the endoscope can get stuck in the recess and can pierce or it can damage the fossa. That's why it is a dangerous site by perforation by endoscope. Now foreign bodies. So with foreign bodies that you sometimes you engulf, like the fish bone or any other foreign bodies engulfed by small children, so they can store or get stuck in the piriform fossa. Suppose there is a structure or some fish bone stuck in the piriform fossa. So there is a piriform fossa and there is a fish bone and we have to remove it. So there is a chance of damage of the laryngeal nerve. So removal may lead to the damage to. So we have to be very careful when removing a foreign structure from the piriform fossa, because we can damage the internal laryngeal nerve, which is responsible for the cuff reflex. So we can lose the cuff reflex if we give importance to the, or we don't give importance to the internal laryngeal nerve in the case of removal of the foreign body stuck on the piriform fossa. And the tumor of the larynx may grow in the piriform fossa, and it provides the space into which the tumor can grow. So this is also the clinical condition related to the piriform fossa. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and do subscribe and share channel. Thanks for watching.